But I can't tell what I say. I just say Ghana network in Tama already to me and fro. And I sorry, why?
We are prophet. We are
Sorry.
prophet.
And then another person comes. I'm saying, "How do you? What do you for baby?" Kind of straight say, "How are you? I'm going to me with the whole fan casa." And yeah, I hope so. They get it better. But I can't miss me no you. African if you say. Oh, see, I'm from Munina. I'm just say Radiat Mobia here. And then Saturday and Saturday at this time, you know, is here na is Bible, and we are studying rather a challenging and tricky book, and you know, so far so good. You to me, abo your modern biara, to decode some of the information and the message in the book of Revelation. Last week, Radi Adam MIACI, Yedin Komo Ebebre. Now, after today, we have 2 more Saturdays with me on the Zoom link, okay? Nafe Marco into in person. Like I've said in the past, you know, I would encourage you say, you know, boy, who need to me, na it's me abua. After today, you will 2 more Saturdays. Baby Bedrubia and whoever takes over now, I think, sir, that one you to me every the OC. All right. Last week, Radi Adomi we had a Carla say they can't do more counsel. You know, we wanted to have more discussion, but our time was up. Internet hopefully no you bet me every and command you know. But let's try to recollect what we discussed last week. Then I'll carry from our discussion last week. Then I'll carry I won't come out you're born out here if you yes. Wana ebe kaye ewo nkoma last week na ye bono wana betimi akaye yes obi ankaye na me body okay ka wana mi hunti what was John saying to you and then I'll come from last week.
Last week, no, yeah, I think it's Revelation 13. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, you read 12 into 13. Now you start to say yes, will be about the beasts, the beasts from the sea. In verse 1 and verse 2, no, Bible may say the beast, no, was like a leopard, his feet was like the feet of a bear, his mouth like that of a lion, and that dragon be a man power. I'm just summarizing verse 1 and 2, no. Inti the whole is na ya yesu ande kakra na hu behia say yakofa Daniel chapter 7 na you strike some similarities there. In person we can you know but metiano e bia kai nuanum na.
All right. It has papa. But you have been a car baby apart from the brother Carl any action it didn't be na I didn't also okay from our last week's discussion. Yes, we hope you. Yes, brother Christian.
Yeah, there were some similarities. Our Daniel 7 and Revelation 13 You who saw about four beasts, kingdom, various kingdoms, and then one Roman Empire, a Greek Empire, Medo-Persia, any other empires, Yeah. Most of this Kasakwan, very not physical, but tell us the problems are early Christians will be facing. You will send Satan so per se Christ couldn't dim now, but did not or preventing them. Yeah, these are some of the things that we saw last week.
All right. That's Brother Christian. I'm sure. Yes, Brother Carl.
Okay, and to make maybe also Brother Christian, the answer, if would share my etias say the beasts represented kings or nations or empires. Now, they didn't kind of I wrote it down for the Babylon kingdom, the Medo-Persia, the Grecian, and then the Roman Empire. Inti asia ye ba benya wo no e be hunu say Revelation chapter 13 beast na oka ho asem no ana ono no waka the features of the first three beasts abomu no na it is on why more ruthless na that stood for the Roman Empire. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. All right. Obi. Okay. There was a tea saying there are so many people almost misinterpreted the book of Revelation to suit their church doctrines. Okay, like the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and then some other groups. When we do chapter 13, they actually describe this beast as something else, as the Antichrist or something else. People have associated this beast with a nipa bi abe we are saying no more day to say Hitler, to say Obama, a lot of people. But said the first I read the book of Revelation, and the book of Revelation no more no they were supposed to happen in the days of the early Christians, the first century Christians. And the central idea of the whole book now. Onyankopon atemuo a na wode ebre enipa womo ekutia nyamemba womo kutia kristosom womo kutia erade adifo erade asomafo erade asempakafo a womo ye adwumaden afei nyamemba kristofo a na wono so erade enipa ekutia wono no unfaithful Jews, unfaithful Jerusalem a womo edi sa adwuma no ene erade sa atemwe eba wono mo eso. Now, this letter, Onyankopon Emma John Chiro, was supposed to give the Christians hope in all the tribulations. I know how that it here. Then nipa ede etete wono mono. Na krata we ebe she wunkra. Obekaya. Revelation chapter 2, chapter 3. Ebra na yeka asafo the seven churches in Asia Minor. Yebeka mu say they were going through a lot. Ebi were going through persecution. Jewfo anka also muhune radi mumuno. They were persecuting the Christians. Ebi so were getting external forces from the Roman Empire. Pagan for no, and I said, "Womo anensume radi no, amame mufuo no, abosonson for no, wonom said you how ebre wonom." So, enioma yekin kan no eye atemuo a onyame ede bre enipa na wonom ha nyame ma e Christopher no. But it was supposed to be read by the Christians. Said about ya, one be share one cry say, "Well, run out within it, or yenkunimdefo." It's yes also Christopher yenkunimdefo. That is the basics, the basis of the book of Revelation. Like I've always said in this discussion, the book of Revelation now, the writer was trying to use complex images to tell a very simple story about Jesus Christ and how victorious he is and he will be, for Christians or for the world. Or the and to say a moi or the numbers to say numbers, symbols. na a Christopher, they really understood those symbols and what they meant. In fact, some of the book of Revelation now, or no use things that were similar or familiar with the people. For example, when you saw apamdadano in so many ways, especially here in Revelation chapter number 13. Ojina apamdadan sembia na enuanum enimudada eso editu won for kasa kire wonom kana de erade eba abeye enipa na omonyi erade eni. Okay, so that is a simple understanding of the book of Revelation. Now, unya sa asem at the back of your mind that afedie usuya ebe much more easier for you. You know, it will be much more easier for you. A lot of churches try to twist this whole imagery book to suit or more interest or more doctrine or more ekutemo. Last week, yesterday, Revelation chapter number 13. Now, we read the whole book of chapter 13 now. Obo beast maku mienu din baku free nsuo mu ena baku free asase eso. From verse 1 to verse number 10 no describe the ofri nsuo mu eba ye no en ne dwumadi a wo ba bedi ye. From verse number 11 to the last verse no describe the ofri asase so eba ye no. Last week na ye did ofri nsuo mu ba ye no enkomo ye nwie. I tried as much as possible to give us the background of that whole 10 verses so that be ya and see, it's much more easier for us. Sometimes the best I could do is to be a little much more detailed. So that I need to me a grasp and you maybe okay now aboye. So Abuano ofrehe, who is the beast? Abuano, who is the beast? Si hunu say Abuano ejina homa the Roman Empire. Abuano ejina homa the Roman Empire. Na sa Roman Empire no in prophecy in komshemu no na onyankopon afa ne komhwefo so ahya to ho se wono mo de atete ene ohawa bi si da ebeba unfaithful Jews no so Jewfo ana Jerusalem eyo nyame kuru ahinkuro wo mo anan so mu tie Awurade asamase no mo so Awurade yie no na so wo mamma ne eya de foforo no eno nyame pesa ode sa table bebe won so in chapter 13 kasafa Roma amrado a wonum enye won tumi ana wo manya influence every obonsam nchen na wo mo ede ohaw ede eba omaya enketwa se yo Awurade eman omaya enketwa se ye Awurade eman na so esa sanipa emperade na Awurade asemutie na nipa ezu se jama Awurade no se mo odi agro so ye de yi o nti no ono da wo ho eyade foforo. So that is what Revelation chapter 13 verse 1 to 10 is about. Now yakoye chika krabi Revelation chapter 12 e be kai say obonsam was introduced in chapter 12 and you made your person obey and say enka on my Yesu Christo kra masas hiso ba Yesu bae o person ke Yesu ntumi nwie na dwuma obedi wasase so Yesu wie na dwuma obedi wasase so efro ko china jane nchen oso na bra sa de si ye no obonsam bu fuye na odane nani e de kire nyamemma e Kristofo no wo mo edi nyamemmra so no na obonsam dane nani e de ehwe wo no obonsam dane nani e de hwe wo no. Revelation chapter 2 verse number 10 asembia wo ho no say osemu nsura mane bia mmehunu na hwe ohonam edi mu bi begu afiase na wasoma hwededu muni ne kuro nkoduru mu wuo mu na munya enkwa abotire no. Okay, enti ehai yebehunu say onyame ka kire Kristofo edi kan na say obonsam edi ohaw eba wonom so na so mugina kosi ase a ena ummenya enkunim abotire no. Na ha Revelation 13 no ena kire ohaw a obonsam epese ode beba nyame ma Kristofo no so, all because say Yesu has fulfilled the task here yede hye ne nsa se wo medi ewo asase we eso. Ebiem Revelation chapter 13 and some woman no enya ade bia afe na ebebesi a ebi mu kire se aboa bi firi nsuo mu ebepiaba bi su fi asase so ebepiaba na no, there's nothing like that going to happen. It happened already. Esi dada na ensi said the Revelation image na ode ma ye no maka kire ode bia se usua Revelation a fa na se Yedi obi ekojina baby a yadrod your normal abobo from gallery, okay? Omaye artwork be brave bobo ho. Na artwork biya no ewo de kire. Nti ube hu artwork bi ayebasa enso sa artist no gina ho na de appreciate art gina ho obetumi interpret artwork no mo say it's speaking. The art is speaking. The artwork, the piece is speaking by itself. But and that is how the book of Revelation is. All right. Until the no, with this background, no. Now let's look at some of the things we talked about last week. Revelation chapter 13 and Daniel chapter 7. Very, very wonderful similarities. And it look as if say Revelation 13 no a fulfillment of a prophecy at Daniel Radifano so Emano Emaye. So be kaya pam da demo no so man Israel ye rade no bone a ne rade aka kire ndi so kan kire won say obema wa tanfa beto ahye won so e de won akoye nkwa. Now Revelation is like that. Only say in Revelation no or you sue images or you sue numbers or you sue and new man then nipa no won ti ase de but obi a won ti ase kan ya on shada ti ase sa. Inti Daniel Eshen come to order that say ahimie bi ebeba na wo mawura awurade kro kronkron mu na ohawo wo beba no ebi si wiase eda. It is all in the book of Daniel. It is all in the book of Daniel. Now Daniel chapter 7 you can verse number 3 to verse number 7 eho obo emwa anasa ahimie mako enan bi din ewo ho. Na se ohwe sa akenkan sem no a ene brother ayi so brother Steven enti me akenkan sem ya na ya ebetimi abo na abo. Now we Revelation Daniel chapter 7.
Okay.
Reading from 3 to 7. Yeah, can last week, but you do be a becken can me alert and hit me akenkan. Yeah, edi ye bi aba vision bi aba na Daniel echirase na wo say the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main fact. And Daniel ni nyame bibi achire no and welcome wasem ade achire wonom na one night and Radi Danedi editre Daniel. Or say, I saw in a vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other, into beasts. And one maku na ye womufi ensuomu eba. Remember, Revelation 13. Abuana yehu Revelation 13 so yese no so ofri ensuomu ena wo baye. This means that yet to me, Daniel 7 Asia, it is easier for us to explain Revelation chapter number 13. Okay? And the the first was like a lion. You kind of not to say lion. The second was like a bear. The third, was like a leopard. Was like a leopard. And after this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, the fourth beast. It was dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. Now, it's here a more trinidikana lion, a bear, and a leopard. We call Revelation chapter number 13, verse number 2 more. What describe abuano free ensuomu eba yeno. Na obehwa this abuano free ensuomu yeno had all of these three features. Abuano was he had a feature of a lion, he had a feature of a bear, he had a feature of a leopard. Now think about it. Revelation, Daniel chapter 7. Abuano a lion, a bear, a leopard. Was it a mere coincidence to say Revelation 13 so verse number 2 no? War or chere abuano free show by, you know. Or say I saw Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard. His feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like a mouth of a lion. As a misunderstand, was it a mere coincidence or not? Debbie, it wasn't a mere coincidence. Now, Senator Baraka air canon. We be me who say. Abuana yakan of wasam ewo Revelation 13 no. Ewo the attributes of all these three. I the three no me about there. Daniel 7 and say they all represented kingdoms. Onyina jina homa ahinie Roma ahinie betu onyina guye. Roma ahinie was the fourth kingdom ebaye. Ebaye ebetu ahinie biya ka biya guye. Into Revelation 13 chira say now we say usro Babylonian ahinie Roma ahinie no have a feature of the Babylonian kingdom. So usro the Medo-Persian ahinie no Roma ahinie no has a feature of the Medo-Persian kingdom. So usro Grecian ahinie no Roma ahinie no have a feature of the Grecian kingdom. Or was womu a characteristic in Nabi. And no one so not the account. That is what Revelation chapter 13 is saying. Say a bono free so mu ebayan. It is like four kingdoms combined together. It is very strong. It is very powerful. So it was a mere emphasis. And a Christopher no more king cancer, they knew Daniel chapter 7. They knew it. No munim de radiaka afasa ahini no ensem no ehun. Na ebrana Daniel peso ohunu sa asem enti ase no. What was the meaning of all these four beasts? Na Bible eka ho asem ana eba na da yesumu no. Verse 16 and verse number 17 of Daniel 7 or say, I came near to one of those who stood by and asked him the truth of all of these. So he told me and made me know to me the interpretation of these. 17. Those great beasts, which are four kings, which arise out of the earth. It's Daniel say, sa beast no, e represente ahimfo, ana ahinie. So Revelation 13, beast na ohono, enya abua keke. Said ye as the phone so be kase, o ya abua bi afe no obeba, na debe enye no kre. Ejina homa ahinie, ejina homa a kingdom. Ejina homa ahinia no wo tumi anase yaman tumi se omfe endi enipa bi eso. Now Daniel chapter 2. Unya brena Daniel chapter 2 verse number 37 to 40 no. If I can verse number 1 now. Nebuchadnezzar no yo hinu Babylon. Osondaye. No so daye no friend professor or merchant as ne magicians ne astronomers ne wo mo a ehunu wi ase. So mo mekere no daye no ase. Na Nebuchadnezzar did not tell the people his dream. Okachira won say, "Monka daye na nkyere me na mo amonsan nkyere ase." Na the magicians na ntumi ehunu. Enti o ma yekunkum nipa bebre san say, "Onge ntumi anka na daye na nkyere ase." Daniel ko bom pa yese Awurade so ma no nimdie o sasem no. Na Awurade ma no nimdie. Na Daya Nebuchadnezzar so ye na se wohunu ohoni ohoni no ni ti eye gold ne bo ene ne chest ene ne arms eye silver ne nan eye iron ene ne feet ene ne toes no eye iron mixed with clay ene wo kire mu a kire ohene se ohene woni ade ni tire no wo represents the first kingdom. It's Daya Nebuchadnezzar so ye no. Ne ye ahinia ebeba. Ehu asem na no walker. Nebuchadnezzar represent the Babylonian kingdom. Na ye gold no. Afei ochire no mu se. Ono Nebuchadnezzar no echire no. Ahinia foforo betu na ahinia negu. Ye fe no Medo-Persian kingdom. Sa Medo-Persian kingdom so no so ahinia foforo beba betu ono so de negu. Ye fe the Grecian empire. And our kingdom. And no nature no the air ding a ye iron, a ye dadie, and also beba na ebebubu diakani na. That is the Roman Empire or the Roman kingdom. It Diana Nebuchadnezzar so was about the four kingdoms wa na ebeba Roma hinie no na etwatwo. Roma hinie no edi ewiase so from around 44 BC to around 476 AD. Omu di ewiase so echeye. and they were very, very, very powerful. It's in Revelation chapter 13. Mashada, I may mark it a little bit of time because of last week. I think we were running a little bit. So we'll get a clear understanding. Say, and ya abobia keke. Revelation 13. And refer to abobia. Na yes, starting book in no. Yes, ogwama jina homa Yesu Kristo. Na abobia ofi pumba ye de yes and jina homa hwe jina homa aboa. And no chira say. Yes, Juda mu ebusuakuo mu jata. Yes, refer to Yesu Kristo. Na afi de abobia fi pumba ye de yes and de jina homa aboa na. Da bi entesa. The book of Revelation, no, they can bring in say apocalyptic literature. But therefore, no, you sue and someone. Obia kanya want to say, and so Christopher kanya, because said they knew those symbols, the meaning of those symbols, and one adi ejina homa, and of course they had read the Old Testament. They knew Daniel 7, Daniel chapter 2. It is a therefore no account Revelation 13. Now what abuabi who asem using his features like leopard, bear, and lion. They knew or they know. Say, Daniel share Hong Kong. Ahine toso naino. Ebe konka ahine miense di kind enyina. And Revelation chapter 13 explains say, sa ahine no, ana sa abono fit puba no, or the feature of a leopard, of a bear, and of a lion. Meaning say, a Roma ahine no wasem and ana walker. Now, last week, a little bit of a cross-reference. You know, the book of Daniel and Revelation 13, similarities. A beer, a woman. We have similarity. There are a lot of similarities. I actually say, Daniel, as someone walking, and one Revelation 13, AD who encommon. You be who say, Abuano of Pumune Baye, and 1 9 in Daniel chapter 7, no move Pumune Baye. Revelation 13, abuano ofipumune baye. This time round, omo nyanai, oya baakwa or what the features of omo akaninyina. Enti oya more stronger. Ne huodin Roman Empire no akonka every other empire, and they were ruling. And to omo tre kwachire bebre, they fought. Ekwachire papa. Afe yes abuano or 10 horns or abeben and edu na yesua horns ehunu say horn ejina ho ema, it's a symbol of authority. Inti ebetumi ejina ho ama ahemfo a na wo mo hye Roman amrado no ase. Daniel 7:7 eka the same thing 10 horns. Revelation 13 eka the same thing 10 horns. Abuano or 10 horns. Afe ebehunu say Daniel chapter 7 verse number 8. So last week, and I think, say, this is the place I did a little bit of running through. Okay, so let's do some reading. Let's do some reading. Now you have similarities. Say what Daniel 7, no, and I'm doing this because Revelation 13 abuana wohono enya abua bia normal abua sa abua fripumaba ni tiri ahe ne mbebe say dabi enya abua nya just abua bia keke a representation of something. Like I have told you, Revelation no at so be adro adie bi adie na wadro no ewo a deeper meaning. Wo hwa na trasa na woni obi a wo appreciate artwork. I want to say this will be your appreciate artwork, not art as and obey to me who say, oh, this is the meaning of this art. We'll call art gallery and I'll call maybe more auction artworks. Over here artwork if you be tunnel about den there. Wait, wait, I never grant more ton about it. But the one only or work na say artwork no ekasachre no, and that is the book of Revelation. It's Revelation abwana or onya abo bia keke. Daniel 7, Daniel 2, the book of Daniel may be who say abwana gina ho at the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, or yet the fourth empire, or conquer all the first three, the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Grecian Empire. Or conquer women, or crush you women. And I've heard you obey more stronger. Okay? And I'm even thinking, oh, says Abraham, so will be ekokuma. Na wudim kunimua, almost saranda. Utubi kura fa ne nkrofo no na sojafo no ahwadefo no bi ka wode ho you know fa na japade the spoils no wo fa de ka wode ho it's a possible say Revelation 13 no give you the feature of leopard, bear, lion because we mu crash wo no mo no you know, they had their power. They had their no their account because they crushed them. Into Revelation 13, abuano yesi of people muba you know. Sabuano. Enye abua bia keke. A representation. To represent a kingdom. The Roman kingdom. Yesi abuano. Daniel 7 say, no, 7 verse number 8. But it will be in Kama. Daniel chapter 7, verse number 8 and verse number 25.
Okay.
Daniel 7, verse 8 and verse number 25.
Okay. While I was thinking about the horns, While I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn, a little one, which came up among them, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. This horn had eyes like the eyes of a human being, and a mouth that spoke boastfully. As I looked, thrones were set.
But you know what 8, you know. You can't jump up 25. Into a beast now or Daniel 7, no. Now he had a mouth speaking boastful things and now pompous words. And someone a yebusu sem a yen kanchiro nyankopon na sansam no na ohonino anasa aboa no walker. Okay? Mama yanka in verse number 25 no.
Okay. He speak against the Most High and oppress his sins and try to change the set times and the laws. The saints will be handed over to him for a time, times and a half a time.
Okay, you know. And hey, you say he shall speak boastful words or pompous words against the Most High. Obeka busu sem na se aboa no ya aboa kasa. Aboa nkasa. Meaning say aboa no gina homa bribi. Aboa kasa na say kind of say a personification and there's a figure of speech there. Enti ya mo aboa no kasa meaning say ya personify aboa no. So o gina homa bribi. Aboa no beka abusu sem e de a kire osoro nyankopon. Na fe na dwuma ba ko obedi ne say obe persecute the saints. Now the word saint, you know, Roman 4 can saint omo refer to omo Christopher ewu ko no. Ntomo Saint Augustine, Saint Aquinas, Saint Paul, Saint Wine. But the word saint, you know, comes from the Greek word hagios. Hagios, meaning one who has been separated for a purpose. Obia, you know, the saint for a purpose. A saint, somebody who has been separated for the purpose of onyame inti yede sin chain. Okay, inti twi ne ka ohuti ni obi a wate no ho onyame inti yat edware no yate no ho na wo gina nchen. Inti se Bible no use the word saint, it refers to every faithful Christian. Obi a oye Christo ni papa bia no wodi ba ko eye saint. Ohuti ni inti na yakasa yese ahotefo ma yensore mo mpaye. Ahotefo the brofo ye saint. Inti saint nye Christo ni awu saint ye Christo fo a tete ase. Okay? Na yesi ahai aboa no free ensum ba ye no. Daniel na account Revelation 13 ye kan kan. This is the book of Daniel. Or say he shall be given or he shall persecute the saints of the Most High. The saint of the Most High. Who are the saints of the Most High? Christopher. But aboa no ebe persecute yesi ye persecute obi a. Meaning so obi gidie bi okute munti. Na ye tata no na ye bono na ye kasa onja sa adi ni bo ana mo nsom sa kwan no so biem. That is persecution. Etumi kura kum because of ugidi a okutemo. Na yesa sa abo na ofiri nso mu ba no. Ne dwumadi obedi eno no. And shall intend to change times and laws. Then the saint shall be given into his hand for a time, times and half a time. Sa edwuma no a obebedi no. It is not going to be forever. A period of time. For a period of time. Na sabre no na se ye calculate ebra na so obi kasa timer. Time egina homa 1 and that's a 1 year. Ye calculate ebre ene na na yɛka time a ɛgyina hɔ ma a year. Yɛka time sa na akɔyɛ 2 years. It is a time, 1 year there, meaning half a time, half a year, 6 months. Okay? Into times and half a time, 3.5 year, because 1 plus 2 plus a half, or 0.5, amount 3.5 years. That is equivalent to 2060 days, or 1,260 days, which is equivalent to 42 months. What can Revelation chapter 13, verse 5 or say, Aboy beteti Christopher for 42 months. Into Daniel you see times and half a time. Revelation you see 42 months, which is the same duration of power. Telling you, say, Abuana Daniel kind of wansam, and one Revelation eka wansam. But this time, a Roman amrado no, and I crash all the other kingdoms. Inti okura tuminu enyina. So Revelation chapter number 13 was referring to the Roman Empire. Okay? Iti abuano beka bususem Revelation chapter number 13, verse number 1, verse 5, and verse number 6, no, echremu se ane abuano Revelation also say obeka bususem Sarah. One said, and I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? Now, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on it says a blasphemous name. Ne mama sono anase ne tirisu ono edin bi eboso ono na ye ebusudin. This is Revelation chapter 13. Okay? Now, you have verse number 5 and 6 now. Or see, and he was given a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. Exactly what Daniel said. And he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It will be let's say, the not Daniel Ekan, and no any revelation, let's say, a babybim, say the babybim, Kai say, Ebra Daniel Yasa and Comshenu, Yakachana say, on sealing Comshe because a brand new Yanson yet. Ebra was a sad in the bemuno, a Yanson yet. But a better revelation, no, what much them say? She said, there is no delay. The Daniel car, the different car, a brass will say, I was a bemu. A brass will say, I was a bemu. So, Revelation chapter 13, beasts are all refers to the Roman Empire. Onya to me free obon some ancient. That is what Revelation 13 says. That obon some no emani to me. The dragon gave the beast power. Say on fine yet the opposite what they aim. Duration of power, you didn't can't want some editor that. Afei na one a Christopher ebediesie Daniel 7:21-22. You can't want some Revelation 13:7. But ayaba akwa na this beast no free show muba no eba na say on nyamema ebediesie. He was going to fight with the saints of God. On nyamema ebediesie. Now, I didn't think I also say, this is a question to all of us. Say, obon some influencing crofobia. Na omone nyankopon ma ababediesia. Why is God telling them? I don't know nyankopon e ka kire wo. I don't know nyankopon e ka kire wo say. Obon some inti Revelation 13 the o nyina no say. Onyame e ka kire ne ma Christopher no say. Ebra so obon some ene mo ebediesi obema mo ho akire mo. Mbakwa ho hia bebre mu. I don't know nyankopon e ka kire wo. Usada nyame ka kire wo. Some to question us here, and it is not rhetorical. A question of person be say, I don't know.
Okay, yes. You better prepare yourself against Obonsam.
Okay. Inti said a be Christopher no be see wo say application, you be application at the end of the class. But this was an information to the early Christians, the 7 churches in Asia Minor. Say Ebra Nason said the Daniel Kaya say Roman Empire no beba na wabebo ewura the city of Jerusalem. Na what the how besiege the city and the how abre nyame maka ho bi no. This was to alert the Christians to remember what God had told them. Revelation 2, verse number 10. Osimunsra ma ne biara mo behunu. Hwe ohunam de mo begu afiase na obesoma hwe obesoma hwe dedu. Mundi nokura nkoduru mu wo mu na manyankwa abotire. Enti onyame aka kire om dada. Say obonsam betete wo for a period of time. Na so wo mu gina nokura mu kosi ase a and omenya enkunim abotire. And this is why God was trying to tell them. Say the Daniel kan no ebebem obonsam beba obey influencing nipa bebre obey influencing nations ye superior no maba no mama de atete de abremo. However mujina kosi ase a obenya enkunim ebodo. So with that in our minds as the background, quickly no you're running through the thing. 80 verse 1 of the book of Revelation 13 verse 1. So then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns. Into our 7 head. And maybe Jesus said 7 heads represent 7 emperors of Rome. 7 emperors of Rome. After you say our 10 horns. And maybe Jesus said it represented 10 kingdoms. And our kings are no more Roman Empire no ase. Whichever way the case is, head and horns are representing authority to me. Head and horn. In United Homa to me, power, authority. Okay? And on his horns, 10 crowns. Horn no. S1 that are crowns. Crown and sitting a hall at the man authority, power. Say there shall be a hincha. A man call Miss Ghana name Miss Worldy, or maybe area na the obey no near the crown as channel. You say on the crown on the dim kunim. On the top of all of them. Ya him for you crummy or when you know what hincha one more eshe. Inti crown, I the shenipa, ejina ho, at the matumi. I had the many panel. After on top of niti any horns was sign or crowns. So that should tell you how much power and authority this beast has. And on his head, a blasphemous name. In verse 1, which I say, the Roman Empire is therefore is going to exercise, great power and authority. Ya conclude say, the beast is not just a mere abuabi of Funishomuba. Namno jina homa Roman foa. Na omuba to asha Jerusalem so ana onyame ma konkro no so na obadi sunkunim de na gina homa no omuba no wo mo nda fom omu otumi kese be say nyame sam kire verse 2 no say or say now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power. Enti aboa the 2 me or the year human efro bon samon chain. Obon semen to me anya Yesu Christo. Ama Yesu Christo enja na dwuma brade de share insanity. Wadane nani kire nyame maso. E no bon sema kwahye Roma amrado yechi. Roma fo yechi. So kenkan history. O metro say there was a time in history Roman for the Roman Empire ebe to share onyame mai konkro no eso. They call it the destruction of Jerusalem. Akutia wonum and going forward, you better understand more of this. But here, I try and say, to me, na Roman Empire no ewono obonsam and the man obonsam na influence one. They did everything possible, say, or maybe kwatia or more ejinyami edieno. Kabiam so say, Abuano ewo features of a leopard, a bear, and a lion. Going back to the book of Daniel, these represented other kingdoms. But Roman fono crashed all these kingdoms until they had the power of 4 kingdoms in one. Until the Roman Empire, it is a 4 kingdoms in one, because we're crashing all the 3, all the first 3. I need to omutumi nyina ba be shenase. Omutumi possible say o masojafo mo konka o mo no abeka o masojafo ho. Omo eniom omo de kwa akon So they had more, they were powerful. The Roman Empire was at that point in time very, very, very powerful because they had their power from the dragon and they had conquered 3 kingdoms already. And they had the features of all these kingdoms are more kind. Okay, Satan is described as the ruler of the world. You didn't kind of sound common editor. Say, focus on some the areas so. You kind of say, and then interest upon some no devious so. In the bebre, we are saying at the one wash upon some say. A lot of people are submitted to upon some authority. When you want a kingdom, upon some on a kingdom, but bebre no as subscribe to upon some a kingdom. So he's a prince of the world because a lot of people ped the upon some way ped the upon some the maybe as no. Okay, and the upon some influence Roman Empire to fight and to conquer the people of God. The description of the 4th kingdom shows how powerful it was as compared to the first 3. So or the feature of a leopard, a bear, and a lion. These 3 were supposed to be kingdoms on their own. But Revelation 13, share this one beast beast but he had features of all these animals. Telling you, say, or you're more, I like the word Brother Kai used, or you're more ruthless, or you're more wicked, or you're more dreadful. Esene, the Babylonian, the Nebuchadnezzar, the Persian or the Grecian, the Roman Empire was more powerful. And they should tell the Christians, say, this is more serious. Now, verse number 3. Now, this I want us to pay a little bit of attention. And I saw one of the heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world marveled and followed the beast. Or say, and I saw one of the heads in year 7. Now he saw one of the heads as if it had been mortally, humanly wounded, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world marveled and followed the beast. One bit me, I wrap on the mind around it. What a try. Try. Yes. Yes, one other way. Utia obia ntwa ba. Everyone to the back say why are they so yes sir. Brother,
yeah, no, I'm ready to
everyone went.
I think say you want to say the heads represent authority.
Okay.
But then again, this text is a little tricky, but you would see the occurrence of something wonderful. And I say, yeah, nipa who say, I want my DB, and I say, happened during that time where it's me convincing nipa. Business. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but
that's right. That's a good thinking. Yeah, that's a good thinking. So it's could represent something happened in that era. This represents the Roman Empire. Something happened in the Roman Empire. If we are saying who say, oh, where the Omaba from where the almost sorry view. And so still no, almost sorry, it became more stronger. Now, yes, I propose and the Roman Empire will never die. Belay our allegiance to the Roman Empire. It is exactly what happened. And have associated this with a lot of events in the days of the Roman Empire. The heads, like I said, 7 heads, most scholars say represent the empress or the empress of Rome. And I'll say it was mortally wounded, meaning say, oh, we'll be by. Somebody is dead. Mortally, just say humanly possible no nipa nepra inti mortally wounded inti owo bi baye. So like we all said, this suggests an event within the Roman Empire that would move people to believe it collapsed. Whatever happened, will make people believe that the Roman Empire was going to collapse. And so review. However, no, the Roman Empire are more powerful than it used to be. Now, this is what most scholars agree on. Unbelievers say Nero ewie, and some believe say the second piano or something. Nero ewie. Ebro wu ye no, you say a civil war broke and it lasted over a year within the Roman Empire. Until there's a civil war, there is an unrest. Until within the kingdom, no one can say, a kingdom against its own self no, will never stand. Until the Roman Empire was going through so much. Within a year, no, Nero, there is a civil unrest. And people said they are the next emperors. Until the people of Rome were divided, the legions were divided in their support for anyone who claims to say, or your emperor. Where see the way where the say na say metesa sampa na ahinsem bi ekoso ho a ahimfumino na sorry where see the ohim we echi am so bi kura famu we. It's a similar case, but this was more serious. This was more serious. Say me fan senka Asante Memu na Asante Kingdom no na me kan say bibi samra na so tumfo otisue ebia ochena woni ho no enipa bebre asoro se womo ene twa so mu di ade na enipa Asantefo mu acheche we si edi we echi na edidede abakro no mo. That was what happened in Rome for about over a year. Now, around 69 AD, Abakosem chere say peace was restored in Rome. Ebra Vespasian be emperor of Rome. When Vespasian became the emperor of Rome, no, around 69 AD, no, peace was restored. Now, no, Roman Empire no ebe more stronger. Nema other nations no marveled. Iti nipa bebre no edwo ho bebata Roman for because they saw say omudo ho beta Roman for na ahinde bia ni ho metumi edi wo so because the Roman Empire is strong. Whatever they went through now, or revival no, they are a very strong empire. Iti nipa bebre no edwo ho ebedi echire. And this is what can explain or possibly explain what we read in verse number 3. Say, I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. Inti or how by it, but or how no healie. Na ewia sinyina emavoye. No nyina bebedi abuanechi. The Roman Empire went through a lot, as if say na onsoribim empire negu. Now so in the days of Vespasian, no, peace was restored and the nation became even more stronger, and so many people, came and followed the Roman Empire. And no another verse no eka ho asam. Iti na nya aboa beast bi a nipa bebre di aboa chi. Dabi. Nemum eye Roman Empire na enam that marvelous idea na to wonom na nipa hunu senka o mo be hwiase. No mo nya hwiase no. Nipa bebre nya wo mu egidie. Iti bebre no de wo ho ebe share the Roman Empire na the kingdom no ase. Okay, so that's about the verse number 3. So again, this is not referring to any abobi or fipubaye. It is referring to the Roman Empire. Said Daniel amayehuno and Revelation so amayehuno. Now verse number 4. So they worship the dragon, who gave authority to the beasts, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like the beast, who is able to make war with him. Okay? Interkobana sano ni pana umbedi Roman Empire na chinyina no ehwa dragon no, because dragon na ama dragon so obonsa na ama Roman Empire no twini o de ye de oyem enti wudi Roman Empire na chi a wudi obonsa machi No more can say, why no bet to me abo we ADC. In other words, why no bet to me Roman Empire no ADC, because the Roman Empire had become more and more and more stronger. So that was verse number 4. Verse number 5. And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And he was given authority to continue for 42 months. And the enemy said, we read this in Daniel, the book of Daniel. Okay, say Yamanu to me, Daniel 11, for a time, times, and half a time, which is equivalent to 42 months. And one so waka wahi. Into Abuana, I kind of was Revelation chapter 13, no, Onya Abua Bia Keke Nemum Warrior Roma, the Roman Empire. Okay, the Roman Empire. Verse 5 and 5 to 8, you know. 6 and say, then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. Enti yamane tumi no bie na no eka buzusem bebere e kiro sosoro nyankopon. Okay, buzusem etie Awurade edin na, you know, verse 7 it say, it was granted to him to make war with the saints and overcome them. And authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. Yamane tumi say, only a Christopher in Niesi. What the man to me, no? Because I say it was granted to him to make war with the saints. Who granted it to the beast? When I granted man, no.
Bonsam.
Bonsam. Inti bonsam ama Roman Empire no. Ahoden say one a Christopher no eniesi. Now only one was so. Not just to make war, but to overcome them.
Yes.
That one when yes, so the man one from the beginning. Revelation 2:10. Or some mamons or how be a mube here or now at the mube go fiase or best summer they do money no chrome go to no money and meaning say or how never tomorrow it could take you to your graves. You better do more woman. But moon cannot cry money no chrome when you know chrome one conquest yes. Mama de omo ye no emu mabem de biara eda. An authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. Now, you see tribe, tongue, and nation. Actually, saying tribe. A tribe dam say you tongue. Actually, saying nations you but tongue no. Tribe. He was given authority, or authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. And tongue speaking, this is one of the passages we quote. Tongue speaking, you'll be kasa. And how use tongue, he was referring to a group of people who speak the same language. Okay, and every group will have their own language that they speak. And the tribe, tongue, and nation is just an emphasis, talking about everybody anywhere. You understand? And the tongue, tongue, the word tongue. Tongue speaking or Bible, it is the language you be krom kasa you can't see and walker and you can be obedient to. But that is on another note. So to me, an authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. Tobon some any nyamembe wo we are seeing na ebe DSC. Asemo yankopon e ka che Christopher no. And why is he telling them? Or catch almost said be ya on bedo mo so. Na esia anya wonom enwa. But wa catch them dey kind say. Do ye nyina no munyina mu kosi ase. Na onyame be mamo enkunim abutire. Verse 8. All who dwell on the earth will worship him. Aseme urade ka che Christopher no say. Enipe wo wi ase nyina besom Roman for no. Wo be di Roman for n'echi. He drew verse 11 no kono a. Beast no free as a subai na. We learn so much more from there. I think you do crowd come up where we learned imperial worship among other things are Roman empress, they made themselves like God. Almost nipa ensum wonum. Said your nipa ensum onyankopon. Yemfa reverence no adoration no emma wonum emum. Enti wo se ukwa bakosemu a all those cities na Roman for ekonkaye na they have built altars in the name of this empress. and they will worship them. No more some sa empress no. Into verse 8 no chirem say Onyankopon and an asam so kachire just one twe no ka kire Christopher no say nipa nyina beba besom sa Roman for no all who dwell on the earth will worship him whose names have not been written in the book of the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Na wamo som Roman for no any wamo din won kwa mu. Meaning say obi ani din nimu no e no obekwa kodi saa Roman amrado no ene ne nkyerɛkyerɛ ene ne nneɛma obɛyɛ no echi. De wo mu no say Roman ahimie na de omode ba no ye kenkan kwa anim a obɛte ase. Afa de omode emra bebrebe ba ebema wo no a wo ye Kristo ni no wonye comfortable. Wonye comfortable. Nto wanye careful a wo be submit to nneɛma na wonom ɛyɛ. Wo be di wonom echi. Wo kodi Roman amrado n'echi. Bebre kodi wo echi because they saw them as powerful. Afa bi nso suro yi. Because say nneɛma na wo ka say ye no wanya omo de ade bi berio na omo atwe so nti pe bebre esu esuro yi banya mesam say enipa nyina ba kodi wo echi je se wo mo a wo mu din ewo Awurade enkwa enwumamu de o kire no say oman no eye Roma man no be hye mmara emra no bebre no eni nyamesam nkọ enti ne pe bebre be wo kodi echi na nso no kura gidifo de omo nkọ kodi echi enti asam simple Awurade ka no say mo a mo ye Kristofo no eni kwan say mo bre mo ho ase e de ma saa nkyerɛkyerɛ bɔne no eno na waka wa ha say enipa wo mu din ewo the book of life of the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Enti asam aka very complex, but it's a very simple statement. Okay?
Yes.
The book
Yes.
of the life of the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Lamb ben is slain no from the foundation of the world. Jesus Christ is the lamb.
Jesus Christ.
Of course. Enti radio chapter 13 no yehu lamb bi a slain no and they say Jesus Christ. But beast there yes and there aboa. No. It refers to the Roman Empire. But obiara ni din wo Yesu ne nkwa woma mu no ontie emperor no ne nkyerɛkyerɛ de ba no. Now this is something we should learn from.
Yes.
And yes, you were persecution in a way. All these superior powers in the world, America for, Canada for, UK for, near there, one of them running bebre apa. Enipa bebre do one kwa kwashase. Na ye Christopher where. Ye di one kwa woman. And God is expecting us to do the right thing. Sometimes I very, very tempted. Why I careful don't walk kwashase. But the rade expert here say, ye pay ye what is right. Because we have learned, if we have not learned, we have not so learned Christ. Yenya sa na yesu afi Awurade Yesu Kristo nkyɛn. Awurade akyerɛ de twase yehunu. Awurade akyerɛ de twase yeye. It was expect say be the right thing. And no ka kyerɛ Kristofo no. Omo de nema bebre beba. Omo de nema bebre beba. Wa nya ba kodi akyerɛ. Ne bebre ba koso. Na mom mo amodi won kwan mo de. Mo nyɛ sa de no. And we have our own. Government no hyehyɛ mmara bebre. Ha ne ade yi game mmara ne ade yi. Mete kura say we are religious leader. Na say give for bound chance say shiroma what is no way shira. There is a law that will, look at this. Into ube shira sa no shira so. When shira so mmara very. You see, in empire ba na say radi ya madom na bia mba me ho. Ko bi ba win shira. When shira so or report wa ubenya asem. So give for wa ha ne fa himfa nyina no woni omo delay na wan kan wasem yie kakra bi a no mo take offense o ko report kakra bi na de ba be kasa wo ye nipa wo ye yimu ni ade e nya. These are among others are Roman amrado no e de ba Kristofo no so onyame ka che won say mo amudi won kwan mo no do not subject yourself to these things. And like I said, we have our own. Yes, we are there ye facing. And when Yankopon expect and say, a dear biara a bine de beba, a dear biara we are said the beba, ya him for the beba, you too, or made it to me when so the beba. I and then yam some ancon, it was for Yankee home fame free moon. So to home free moon, ever to me, at the one from how be a broad dear, but rather say, Sanumpo and a becua. Or say, a shrine woof or more radim say, So this was a caution to the church. Say so that's the verse number 8. Okay.
Asama woka sesi ana mitimi ka pikakra.
Okay.
Yo. I mean say beginning or can be bitre say yenye courageous. Mama Yusro. Na say one di bibi ba behind. Isn't bad time for Christian to stand up and fight? Because see a Christopher abawiase afana nyina e wo se bebeje papa. There's majority ebeye papa. It say yes ye as spoken near fighting say no the modern bano enye
right. Me know ya adwen say
to me peja yimu fighting.
Right. True. Say kwan da ho a ye kasa bi ebe ye because America ha Republican for best this year sa ga esemi e be take a different shape altogether.
Oh yes, I'm glad you know.
Democratic for was no more for was an me and gay a abortion who asem da Supreme Court by the near bread and then and then nobody actually say oba no will control over her life. Nti enya oba no also be yegwa enya no yingu akwala no enye human. Republican force akwala no human. Akwala no human. You see all this debate. So Republican for ebe di omano so things change for some way somehow. So almost so no matter for Trump did a matter
you know why America Republicans in a kura rono doctors so bibia woman na ekura nti ama woman etu eyi woman na eyame to ma woman yesika nti woman anya power bi overshadow Democrats.
Right. Yeah. And you know adesua kase osi esua ne se aba no de ade bi ba na ye kasa ho ne be ye osi ye kasa ho na ensesa na emoye ye de ya kasa ho so anya yi a yentwe ho mfemfiri so da be ye a enkunye nsusuanso na ense ye nkwagye rade de edom ye enti ye hunu se tumi a ye de kutia erade ema no obonsam de ma Roma Empire na se wo mfa nkokuntia a Christofo no. Okay. Now, Daniel 7:21 to 22, 25. Echire mu say, aboa na yete ne nkan wo Revelation Daniel no so no. Ono so sa atumi kro no na de ma no, eno na me yenya hotoso say, aboa na wo Daniel Revelation chapter 13 no, onya aboa keke ne mum or represent the Roman Empire. Okay? Now, only those whose names are written in the book of life will not worship the beast. You didn't command that. Because of this, the people of God needed to brace for impact. As many radical church want to say, listen, whether you like it or not, they are coming full force. Because Obonsan did not pass all you went to me and yet. What we're doing kuku into the brain or the baby yemoso. And then the Bible no kind of New Testament Christians will say, more time for Bonsam, or some more time for Bonsam. Obanfunya Obonsan when you are down for, or ye time for Bonsam, one and nam, or a day, or boom said that apple be at Chenam. So Bonsam is always finding a way to just, make us fail. Until verse 9 and verse number 10, no, when Yakopo catch a Christopher, no, I say, if anyone has an ear, let him hear. What do I saw man into a Christopher? I don't know, kind of, sir, means as American. A futu son of the mamono. It is how I saw the tea. Will be our song. Now, so with me a cast of any panel on tea into our sodiati. Means no catch woman, I said, as some no, I can can't be actual one. They need to listen and then take notes because it is going to happen. It is going to happen. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with a sword must be killed with a sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saint. Now, what does this mean? The saints are warned to have patience and faith and not to respond with warfare. On your make a Christopher say, Mamma can be a second anchor because the or Tresican or Wusacan. It I don't know what they banner, men can someone sorry, Amos Tresican, and no more anchor. Monya move from the say Christopher. na mo say how na the omo beba. So brace for impact. Get ready for whatever is coming. Mumu from the kasa mo yes Christopher no. Do it. Say kwa ho say mo kire mo adwene obibi hu na ye a mo kire mo adwene. Mo nka de otosa moka. Na mum say omo de ohaw ba no. Mama so mo nkofa se kan kasa mo kɔ ne omo ekodi esi akɔkɔ physically because mo yes they are more powerful than you are. O mekunkum nyina. Enti nya no no kasa na America. Na mum mo nya mumu from de. Mo nya mumu from de. If kwa ho sa mo kasa. Okay? But have patience and faith. Have patience and faith. Munya boaseto na fe mugidi ewe urade mu no moma ne nya kese because what is coming no munhunu bi kura eda. Munya boaseto, and this encouragement is for all of us Christians. And now obonsam for kwan bebre so ne yedi esi. Ebi yade eba yebusua mu, ebi yowu eba yebusua mu, ebi failures bebre eba yebusua mu, dwuma sem basa enkrata sem, and we feel so nyame wapa yen we yin ani afri and so. No. Nyabo to be patient and have faith because God knows best. Yenimu mro nyankopon. Onyame nimbro ye. Last week mene New York Church no me sermon na me a series na me de hymn 19 na me de etu ye nyinafo. Hymn 19 you may worry or chere me kwan. He leadeth me. Now the first time I met this was a long time ago. Somewhere around 2003 or 2004. Now we were high school. Number high school. Okay.
2003.
Me long time. Long time 1960, 1970. Me long time 2000 and 3 there on. Now me were high school. Me were at this school, Cape Coast. Now yen patron or school no so or Church of Christ for school no so no. Now or some Chapel Hill. Mo nim Cape Coast no. Chapel Hill Church of Christ. Into third be no the yen akọ a chrome near akọ service near there. Now first time call mo to sa anyum. Oh chere me kwan any Jesus. And I fell in love with that song. That was my first time meeting him, and I was very happy. Now what you say in someone? Ora press I found Joseph Gilmore. Now around a time where there was civil war here in America. Civil war na you see America no. Ohunu say too many baby aje rade, and that's what the baby say rade. And the rade what chere me kwan. That is the foundation of the song. Now o be preach chere no. We used to Psalm 23 ne preach here. Rade na me hwefo hwere hia me. Ojameko ensua, he leadeth me in the path of righteousness. Sa leadeth me, no, you should declare Sanyum. He leadeth me. Then person can understand. We should allow God to lead us. We should be patient enough. We should allow God to take control. Oma yenye de yankasi ya penimu. Yenye rade, no ni yenim chire yankwan. Na so rade chire yankwan ya. Yebedu fi asumdwemu. Se wote kaya mu. Na o driver no good any experience and no nkyere say o how bia ensi e wo kwan no so o how betumi esi be say o driver no experience nti or no or be make sure say o how no be bad but make o dura somdwe mu no matter how perfect or experienced the captain of the ship is there will still be a storm but storm no ba and no nkyere say captain no esa so ye good nti no we're making sure say obey sail through the storm to the shore safely. It's ye rana no or you're the best captain in the world. The ship money it's here. Ye nyano no on take control of our lives. Because obon somebody be throw a lot of things at us. Obon somebody to no be bria be so. Obe da ye kwan bebre so. Now so mo ye nyina merade. O ye nyina merade. O how bia we abra bomu no. O how bia we abra bomu no. Moma ne mo yehu. Ne mo yemfa ne nyina nhye Awurade nsa na yeye fam de yebetumi aye no yenye na yenya boaseto na yenya gidi a ebrepemu no Awurade be hye ne ho ene onyam eti otwafo no ka kire ekristofo no say you guys should brace for impact say saman som Roman brado na o de ha bebre e de bebremo na nso mamon som o ha ne mra de metumi aye no mo na mfa mu no monye na monyimi eni esan say So muji media me wo enipa bebree enya wiase mo nko na mum ewiase chi nso me de ebedomo. So that is about Revelation 13 verse 1 to 10. Eradi adom na se hye mu a verse number 11 to verse number 18 that talks about the 666. Ebere bi minimum de ho nkomo kakra. So we'll revisit it and then look at verse 11 to verse number 18. And you better know where ana asebi saben na wo. So Revelation 13 verse 1 to 10 yedi ho nkomo awie. And then I was you.
Deɛ sɛsi a wokeka yɛ nyinaa ama mehu sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ wote hɔ a woma mpaebɔ ada wano abere biara because sɛ baabi a yɛredi wohwɛ a ɔbonsam apagya ne mu wɔ asase so sesei nneɛma a yɛanna anwen sɛ ebesisi esisi mede Russia ne Ukraine for by example madam for ne Mante me nkogya me Mante so onko me se chenchina a wo beko ayi asem bi a ɛyɛ atete hwɛde ekoso wɔ Israel sɛ wɔn mu a ɛda America for sɛ wɔn ne the world leader sɛ wɔn mu ntimi an stop saa nneɛma no a ɛbɛ spread akɔ akyiri ama ɔhaw abayɛ so sɛ yɛ wɔ ɔhaw mu let's face it because obi a wɔba Canada from 80s ne 70s no ɛne kura asesa Canada wasn't like this nti no ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ ma yɛ mpa abom yɛ den na yɛdi gyidie sɛdeɛ wɔka no ɛkɔ Awurade anim na me deɛ menim sɛ Awurade tumi adeɛ nyinaa yɛ sɛdeɛ wɔka sɛ yɛnya abotrɛ yɛnya honhom mu twɛn no I believe that 100% because I'm talking from experience bi a menya timi so kakra mesua ne sɛ deɛ yɛdwene no yɛnma ne nsipi ne mmɔ yɛ ho mmɔden na sɛ wiase asesa saa na mehu no sɛ Ghana pa obi tumi kum obi tumi fa sika twa ne nana kɔn because of sika let's just say no something really wrong.
Ante esta ya das papa nyamisha.
Amen.
Ngato na wasia.
Bra Mante ya da sibe bre nyamishiro. Oyedama me ma Mr. Ken ne mre ye no part 2. My Mr. Ken me nyene ya adwene dem brema waso Ken the book of Revelation no there what trauma Christopher or them abre no the obey encourage one ma. Wenya ho ntiase de yen leader oye Jesus Christ no yen kunyimdifo ti won so wotini mu no koroma obotum wa kunyimdifo no yen kwar na se bosho my Mr. Ken no it look like history is repeating itself.
Yes,
because ye bosho and say yen kure ye wo mi de Ghana de no what the brain or foreign embra no botum wa ka che na the brand yanje antuma dem sike ehu de I mean yet na say ehu de mama me second he ma osi na bi na yeresan yakom dam mbra oti de mi nti oye mbra anante second ma me ken ye me enwo on paibom ne ye mbra ye wom ne ye nyambre papa because ye shoma nyamara kosisi na bonsam no tum ikroma ye we dam kofne gegefne kedu ha gro hu be chiri because wo ska wo tum wo power.
Yes.
See, mbre wo ni nyambra oye bete kra nti kakra na mreka tum ma me ne de no do.
Ngato papa nyamisha. Braka.
So we can't be brave now. The better me boss on here say what I said the meaning of saints. And idea it is quite it's very, very interesting because basically and they become a TV crowd, a very well known popular guy. Not sure we say we can say saints any power I say or say there be saints here no kind no there's a million your cancer any part saints here one more so you realize that these are things that even if we know it, we take it for granted.
Right.
Sometimes no, the fee say you know might be wrong, but Bible in church may say this. And I watch from the Greek word Hagios, no, and yet necessarily one of those who have set themselves aside. Again, the message of you, the verse 10, our count faith, not the patience account. I am there because I am joining New York Bible studies on Wednesdays.
Right.
Now I recommend it to anyone who platform is if we can repost the link again on our platform Wednesdays, you can join New York for Obisia Nyama Bibre. Last week now, yeah, for the past few weeks now, Omusia faith one said. And what I came to learn is faith, any patience, idea to me and separating me. Say, oh, GD my papa, oh, Yakupo. However, I didn't could be how tough you are relying on him. Say, no, and a between with the free. The moment Obeka said, I feel my bread, and I said, my drink a cray, my me quite be, you know. Let's say, patience, no, what man say. In that sense, no, so GD no, ebe say. It's GD no, ebe require, we say, as much as long as the journey is, no, you would sustain your patience, no, for the whole journey. Na o rely on Yankopon say or no be you if you believe. And me da se pa say mama yati and also I say.
So I said I say, I mean sure. Right, Christian, need you.
Yeah, last point, you know. Right. Last point, you know, said today we must be ready to stand for the word of God and not worship the government. Right. Yeah, honor, very, very important because and when we say sometimes some religious organizations be the Jehovah's Witness for, they try not to even do certain things. If our government say they are voting, need those things. Elaborate that point.
Yeah, basically, that was what I was talking about. Say, abayno edinoma bebre beba. Abayno ene wonga edi enso no edinoma bebre beba. Say the Roman for no edinoma eba onyame tu Christopher for say mo mfo mo hu enkwanko jimun. So it's the same with us. Abandon bebre beba, we might be tempted to submit ourselves to it. Now, submitting yourself to it, you know, means to say you are following them. Into buying at the gates, it means we are worshiping them. Into any biara abandon the bebano, and I was a Christopher for you to DHD. And ya dear bia won't get any moon at the bebano was a Christopher for you to DHD. I did baby also at Tenassi making sure be say, I was say, I do a some come as some say. A idea de hujimu be a ye, and I say, ye hujimu be a ye. The idea hujimu any ye no nanka ya pia won't eddy frimo. So that is what we were talking about, say. Today, no, we must also be ready, just like the early Christians did, to stand for the word of God. And not worship the government, because the government will pump a lot of things on us. And they are powerful. Send another brother to come. So for no, it will to me, or more, no brea, or make us a yes, Mema will say, Mema will say, you'll be tempted to go in for it. But a Christopher way, Yanginame radiasem. Na yenwen ta so say said ye tie biara no said Daniel kan say me mfa ohene duane kokko, you know, and say me ho no I will not defile myself with said duane no or kodru nkwaso mu no Sadra Meshach ne Abednego ka say umbo mumu ase no matter what to ohoni no ayesi ho no. We should also be ready to do same. But readiness no means say fashion what you say if you do that you will be persecuted. A lot of things will be said to you. People will ridicule you. We should be ready for that. The emphasis argument said, yeah, and see a binyam kwaja may a credit chile. And yes, a bit see at the keka, a best say and kwaja, and the near radin kitamudi. But that's it. But Chris, a very, very, very good one. Okay. All right. Obviously, before for person on the chair before we go. All right. So Revelation chapter number 13. 1 to 10 and come out and say, Erade e catcher Christopher edi kan say. Obonsam is answer will fail his attempt to thwart the work of God. No, ne bu afu pa enti ode ne bufuo nyina ebe Christopher so enti okwahye Roma fo nachi Roma amrado nachi se omonfa tete emre e Christopher no however womunyina no kuremu enkwankosi ase. That is the whole story in the whole book of Romans chapter Revelation 13 verse 1 to 10. Na futu ayefo mu no say ene ye so ya hemfo ya mampanimfo titu ye yetu kan beduro bi man so yi omo de na mebre na ebu man na wanya careful odo ho akosha ase but wade tu yemfo say yantwe ye ho nyina nchen na yensum wade no kuremu enkonkosi ase na enkwa botire a ode ma ne nokwafo no yenso yensa tumi akaye deda edi ekire nyame nshira bebre se otumi eba so yakobo ya atoma next week ebe share ne atwa komando so nyame nshira nyina amen.